Think your old Colt Python is worth what you saw in Gunbroker last week? Maybe, maybe not. I'm Drew McDermott from MDRF Enterprises here in St. Louis, and today I want to unpack a question I hear constantly from families, executors, and estate professionals alike. And that question is, what is my gun really worth? You're a professional, you handle probate cases, estate cleanouts, and fiduciary responsibilities every day, but when firearms show up, things just get a little more complicated. Most people assume firearms hold value, and many do, but getting to that real marketable number takes more than a Google search or comparing to just online listings. The real challenge is that your client expects you to protect the estate's value, but without firearms-specific expertise, it's easy to misprice items or overlook legal transfer requirements. One mistake can delay probate, trigger compliance issues, or cause legal complications. And this is not about guessing. It's about understanding the difference between fair marketable value, marketable cash value, and what's actually legal and compliant when selling or transferring firearms. At MDRF, we're a licensed federal firearms dealer who works with the state attorneys, fiduciaries, and liquidation teams across the St. Louis region. They bring the legal and financial expertise. We bring the firearms-specific knowledge they rely on. For an industry reality check, we have to appreciate that time pressure is reality. Estate timelines are tight. Beneficiaries want closure, storage costs rack up fast, and yet firearms often get ignored, mispriced, or mishandled. So let's talk about what we at MDRF see all the time, some of the common mistakes. Number one, a collection gets priced at what we call wish pricing. And that's just based on gunbroker listings with no bids or internet chatter that sounds really good but doesn't really reflect what's actually selling. And then number two, guns unsold for months. I've seen cases with firearms listed with wish numbers tie up probate for 8 to 12 months. Or worse, heirs take firearms without documentation, exposing everyone involved to legal risk. Not too long ago, a liquidator called me about a month after buying a house and its contents. A safe full of guns had gone untouched. When we arrived, we found paperwork for about 18 handguns, all missing. Turned out relatives with leftover access helped themselves. This one mistake cost the liquidator thousands of dollars and opened up potential legal issues. Professional liability is real. Overpricing firearms in probate doesn't just delay things, it can trigger disputes between heirs and even draw scrutiny from the court. As estate professionals, you're experts in your field. I'm the one who lives and breathes firearms valuation. That gap matters when it's time to get things right. As an example, an estate attorney reached out to me a couple of months back with a gun collection his client had, quote, valued at about $85,000 based on online listings and wishful thinking. We ran a full appraisal and landed at $31,000 in marketable cash value. The difference, we made a firm legal offer and closed the deal that day. There were no auctions, no delay, and no red tape. The professional valuation process is a systematic approach. First, I'm going to talk about how we at MDRF handle the valuation process. We don't guess. Every firearm appraisal we do follows a documented methodology to calculate both the fair market value and marketable cash value. So you're not stuck with inflated estimates that won't move or lowball numbers that leave money on the table. We pull from multiple data sources, recent auction sales, online auction prices, and even shifts in demand. That's how we land on a fair market value and how to avoid costly mistakes. And as an FFL, we don't just provide value, we handle compliance. Every acquisition is processed through our FFL license, serial numbers are logged, ATF paperwork is filed, transfers are clean, legal, and documented. And during valuation, every piece should get photographed, researched, and documented. And you should receive a written report you can present to courts, insurance companies, and beneficiaries when complete. When you're handling someone's estate, you need two numbers. The first of those numbers is fair market value. This is what goes on court filings, insurance paperwork, and tax documentation. It satisfies the IRS, satisfies the probate court, and it's the number that tells professionals the official value of the asset. But it does not tell you what the estate will actually get when it's time to sell. That's where our second number, marketable cash value, comes in. This is the number that matters when you need a fast, compliant sale. This is the liquid value of the asset with your check in hand. No commission, no months of storage, no auction fees, no delays. The professional difference is that most online valuations give you neither. They give you wishful thinking. Our marketable cash value accounts for all the costs you'd otherwise absorb: time, storage, liability, and compliance. This allows you to confidently tell the beneficiaries exactly what they'll receive. So who does this help? This process helps estate professionals and sellers work with heirs who need a clear, fair valuation during probate, collectors thinning out duplicates, and executors or liquidators who don't want to get tangled in shipping rules or legal regulations. Value should not be a haggle. You should get accurate numbers, transparent documentation, a legal path forward when firearms show up. And you should understand the real value. That means knowing both the fair market and marketable cash numbers. That's the standard we at MDRF work with every day. But the bottom line is, don't fall for listing price illusions. Gun value isn't about what you paid or what someone wants on Gunbroker. It's about what someone will actually pay you today, minus all the red tape. In closing, I'm Drew from MDRF Enterprises in St. Louis. You can check out our professionals page for blog entries, white papers, and other content to help you as professionals deal with firearms found during estate sales.